All right, I got something kind of controversial. So I'm going ahead doing some research, right? Doing my due diligence and keeping up with what's going on with the market. And then I come up to this and it says President Trump day one actions will push the mortgage rates down slightly. And I'm thinking, all right, well, fine. I go through it, all good, fine. It's going to take a while for a lot of that stuff to be enacted. But mortgage interest rates right now, historically, this is where mortgage rates have been staying, where I've always been at, anywhere between 6 and 7%, and that's where it's at now historically. Obviously, since 2008, it hasn't felt that way, and we only remember what have you done for me lately. But historically, you go back another, 60 years, it's stuck around 6 7%. And the interest rate isn't so much the problem as is the home prices themselves. You see, home prices are at an all-time high. And the reason they're at all-time highs is because we don't have enough inventory. It's a supply and demand thing. And now it's getting even worse because now the inventory is going up, but the prices are so high that people don't even want to buy. It's almost like a downward spiral of if that makes any sense. So here's my plan that I think should happen. And I mentioned this maybe 2021 or 2022, what I think that should happen. Now, I'm not big on government intervention because typically it tends to hurt, but there's no debate that we need more housing, a lot more housing. And we need to stop looking at housing or our houses as assets. You see, a house is not an asset until you sell it. And when you buy your house, you're not supposed to buy your house that you live in with the thoughts of creating assets and equity just to borrow equity. Your overall thought should be, let me buy this home to pay it off and live in it for free. That is the ultimate goal, but I feel like we've lost our way. And I'm bringing that up because with my plan, housing prices would come down drastically. And with that being said, people who think of their home as assets, as if it's a financial tool, they'll get very upset with that. But if they would understand that the houses aren't meant to be assets, they're meant to be homes. It's the rich folks that say your house is an asset. No, it's an asset. Yes, you die, you sell it, you give it to your kids. Yes, of course. But you should think of it as a home. Now, my idea on how to lower housing prices is for the government to do lending, kind of like it did for COVID when it did for businesses, but all that money was unchecked. They just gave money and blew money away. What the government should do is give out loans, very low interest rate loans, 1 to 3%, so that the government can lend money but still not lose money, right? It needs to make money on its money. So it's not costing the taxpayers, because we don't want to do that. If we charge the taxpayers, then it just creates more inflation and it's garbage. So you want to lend the money out at 1 to 3%, very low rates, to all these builders. And we tell them, go ahead, builder, understand that you will be accountable for this money. It's going to go through all the privatization just like it normally does. It's going to be regular home housing, and we're going to flood the market with plenty of money to just build, baby, build. And as those homes are built and those homes are sold off, then those loans are repaid back to the government. So the government banks back its money, reflood the economy with a bunch new homes, assuming that we can find enough workers. But I think that if you have enough work, there'll be enough workers. This is a supply and demand. People will pay more. I think it'll work itself out. And then with an oversupply of good brand new homes, I think that housing prices will start to come down. Of course, people who own homes and care about that equity, they'll start to get upset. But it's not about you. It's about us. It's about the economy. And it's about people getting into affordable homes. You do this for 3 or 4 years, we bring homes back to realistic levels, and then it doesn't matter so much about the interest rate because your home price is already starting off low. I don't really see a loser in this scenario. Of course, you don't typically ever want to oversaturate anything, but in this case, oversaturating the market so that the home prices are just dirt low so that a 23-year-old and a 25-year-old can get married and start thinking about having kids and buying a home. I think that's a great thing. But right now, you need to make over $100,000 just to even think about buying a home, and that sounds absolutely ridiculous.